Hello, welcome back to another episode of Big Fellas Podcast. Here I am, myself, Mark, and I'm with
Darren.
And how's your week been, Dazza?
Yeah, good, mate, good. Should we start by talking about the football?
Yes, football.
The football we played last night?
You can do. So we're playing Man v Fat. I'm a goalkeeper and had an absolute stinker last night.
I didn't think he did too bad. So Mark filled in for our team as well as our goalkeeper as our normal goalie's injured. It was a tough match against a team who are very good, but hopefully we'll beat them off the pitch.
Yeah. So I played the two games. I played for my own team. We lost 7-4 on the pitch, so that was rough. And then I played for your team and lost 7-0. So brutal. But that's the life of a goalkeeper, eh?
Yeah, and the bonus is, mate, is that, like always, you can win off the pitch. So it's all down to the weight loss now, how good the team have been, and hopefully both of our teams can pick up and get the win that way.
Yeah.
Which to be fair, is far more important than winning on the pitch.
And I mean, it does happen in Man v Fat. I remember playing in a game and losing like 12-0. And we won the game 16-15 when all the weight loss scores got added in. So, any score is can be overturned. It's all part of it, which is what makes it fun, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah. So, mate, this week, been on the road quite a lot, been out working. As you know, at the start of the week, I was away with my family in Snowdonia, and then I was literally back for a few days working on the road both days in Oxford, and I can't even remember the other place, so I think a bit more local. So just a busy week. What about yourself?
Yeah, much the same. I'm on the road Monday to Friday, so every day is that. And it comes with challenges, doesn't it? Certainly if you want to lose weight or sort of manage your weight. And that's going to be the sort of premise of today's episode. And let's talk about sort of jobs where you're on the road or jobs where looking after yourself and making healthy choices is difficult.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, there's life on the road. I think most people nowadays have quite a busy life on the road. Yeah. We're obviously working all over the place. I work from anywhere from Cornwall up to Scotland and anywhere in between. I think you're pretty much the same, aren't you?
Yeah, no, I cover most of the east of England is my job, but I can be sort of a 2-hour drive before I even get to see my first client in the day. So that's 4 hours before you've done anything there and back. And so really I can spend 5-6 hours in the car at a time. So that leads to long days. And again, you've obviously got to feed yourself in that time. And it's the tricky bit is how you manage that and do that healthily.
So in episode 2, I think it is, you did your story and, you said you're doing the Cambridge diet. How's that going and what does that look like when you're on the road then, mate? What's your sort of week been like with food?
In fairness, when I'm on plan, it's relatively easy. You find your mojo, you find your flow. I can stay on top of it quite easily. I have my meal replacement products and that's all I have. And what I like is there's a strict line as this is how you succeed on this. And so when you're in the flow of it, you don't feel hungry, you don't get that temptation. So in all reality, it's a lot more manageable. I guess when I'm not on the diet and sort of the habits leading up to me going on the diet, if I just had a spare half hour between meetings, it'd be like, go and sit in Mackey's and get a coffee and sort of do an email or something, or I'll grab a burger because I'm just between meetings, or I'll go and sit in a supermarket car park and just catch up on an email or two and go and get myself a meal deal. That would be sort of my time. But certainly on my plan, it's been quite manageable and quite easy to keep on top of. But the diet's not forever. It's just a tool to help me lose weight. And now as I sort of come out the other end, I've now got to be a bit more mindful about how I do manage my weight and how I manage my diet during the day and sort of how I feed myself and keep myself healthy, keep myself ticking.
Yeah, and I think that's the good thing with your diet, from what I understand of it. It's like it's very structured, isn't it? Like you eat a lot of like meal replacement bars, is that right?
Yes.
In the day?
Yeah.
So obviously that's the sort of thing that when you're leaving, you can just chuck it in a bag and go lunch, dinner.
Yeah.
Or probably more breakfast, lunch.
Breakfast and lunch and an afternoon snack. But
Yeah.
it's there.
3 bars, job done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I suppose, the Cambridge weight loss plan is probably quite a good sort of diet if you're on the road. Kind of suits that lifestyle quite well.
Yeah, I mean, in the first week or so when you adapting to it, it's hard work. And I guess with me, I kind of made peace with it, thinking that the first week was going to be brutal and going to be hard, but I just needed to stick to it. And once I'd got into the rhythm and found my flow with it, it became quite easy. But it's not always, it's not like that at the start, and you have to sort of prepare yourself for it, I guess.
Yeah, I think, yeah. And but I suppose it's the same with anything, right? Preparation is what ultimately makes it work. Like, you can do any diet if you're prepared enough, can't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's where I let myself down, because to be honest, mate, I was working, like I said, for a day in Oxford, and they're quite long days. So I sort of, I get there for 8 a.m, so I have to leave my house at about 6 a.m, and not generally finish till 5 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And then I've got to travel home for another couple of hours. So I'm on the road from sort of 6 till 7 o'clock. And I try my best. So unfortunately, I was piss poor prepared. I'd just got back from holiday. Work was manic. You know what it's like, especially when you're self-employed. You're trying to catch up, trying to get things done, all the stuff that's gone on whilst you're away. And I went out without doing any meal prep. So I ended up not having breakfast, and went for the strategy of, I'm just going to starve myself and that should be all right. That didn't work. At lunchtime, then I ended up going out and grabbing a sandwich, a packet of crisps, and, to be fair, a bottle of water. So at least I made a good decision with the bottle of water and not fizzy or so, some Coke or something like that. But then again, tried not to eat too much. Because I hadn't had breakfast, ended up eating that about 11 o'clock. Didn't have too much, and then later on the way back, went to the standard Mackies, because I think on the way home I passed 4 in that 2-hour drive. You're never more than
Only
half an hour.
Yeah.
It's fucking
You're never far from them, are you? But I think that's the reality. But when you're out on the road, you are at the mercy of the motorway services and petrol stations, and the reality is that options there are quite slim. Certainly, well, not slimming, they are.
Slim is a shit word.
That's a worse shit word to use, actually. The options are fat.
Yeah.
It's fat, more fat, and a bit of grease. But yeah, it's KFC, it's McDonald's, it's Greg's, it's Costa with a 500 calorie coffee with like mocha choca frappe with extra cream and all that bollocks.
Yeah,
that's
caramel.
That's what we're faced with when we're out on the road. And so... Yeah.
So mate, what should I? Let's review my performance, right? So we're football
Marks
managers
out of 10.
now. We're football managers. We're managing this shit, right? So
yeah,
I've done what I've done, and that's just all the excuses under the sun. But I just come back off holiday. I think I went to bed late that night. I was up early, really early the following day. Had a load of meetings, and then the next day I'm back on the road. And my job I have to do prepping for the equipment and stuff like that. So what should I have done better? Fuck the excuses. Sometimes you've got to slap yourself in the face and say, stop making excuses. What have you done wrong? And so next time I go to Oxford, because I go there a fair amount, what do I need to do differently? And I think, and I don't know if you can add to this, what I should have fucking done is said, right, you're working away tomorrow. You're going to need 2 decent meals for the day. And then you can probably, normally back at 7 o'clock, we can wait till 7 o'clock for dinner if we've had quite a decent lunch, can't we?
Yeah. No, that's easy enough to do, isn't it? Yeah. So what would I say? Well, for lunch, marks out of 10, I'd probably give you a 7. I think sandwich, bag of crisps, it's standard, but no, 7's a bit high. I think the water is probably what brings you up a bit rather than sort of a Dr. Pepper or a Coke or anything like that.
There was coffees there, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think generally speaking, do you know what? Like, actually, it's not that bad. I think I'd say 5. I think it's a medium lunch. Like, there's nothing in there that's good for me. Like, it's a chicken and bacon sandwich. There's a bit of lettuce in there. Does that help?
There you go.
There was like a really fucking small wet bit of lettuce in the middle. It was a cracking sandwich. It's from like a local bakery, to be fair. But like, look, I think there could be worse decisions to be made at lunch for that.
Yeah.
But the way home is the Mackies. That's what fucks you in it. That I would have quarter pounder of cheese meal and chocolate milkshake.
Yeah, that's where you're going wrong, mate.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I love a Mackey's like anyone does, but yeah, it's on a part of your daily routine. That's not the right time to have it. I don't think it's if you're going to have one, make it a treat. And I guess on the way home from work, there's nothing that's a treat about that, is there? It's just you're fulfilling a need. You're hungry. You need to get some scran inside you. So it is tricky, but we've got to be honest. There are limited healthy options out there, but it's not that there's none. And I think sometimes we just got to look a bit harder. I know if you go to KFC, you can get the bargain bucket with all the extras, but you can get like a rice box or a salad. Now, maybe KFC's not the place to go for a salad, but
it could have done that at McDonald's. I could have said, right, look, you're hungry, you're making a bad choice. Just get a chicken wrap.
Yeah.
And then
chicken wrap, yeah.
If we'd have been having this discussion now, we'd have been saying, look, in the circumstances, actually, you've made a pretty decent choice there.
Yeah.
But the reality of it is, by going there and going, fuck it, I'm just going to have, because I'm at McDonald's, I'm just going to have that, a chocolate shaker. So I always get a medium meal, and that I think is good.
Yeah.
At least, although if you listen to episode 3, you'll probably understand why. But I always just go for a medium meal. I shouldn't have had a chocolate shake because that's probably more calories than the rest of them.
Probably more than the burger, isn't it?
Yeah, well, they make it with like full fat, creamy milk and like God knows how much syrup and sugars in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you know what? Like, it's no excuses. Like, first of all, there was a Tesco's and a Lidl that I drove past to get into the Mackie D's. Then I could have made a better option at McDonald's. So I think you've got to give yourself a pat on the back for making some right decisions, but you've got to also be critical and say, well, what can I do better next time? And it's kind of how I'm looking at it. And you know, we do it all the time, don't we? Sometimes you've got to give yourself a break. If I hadn't finished till 10 o'clock at night and I'm starving and I'm not going to be home till, you know, wanting to go straight to bed, then I think sometimes you just say, look, it is what it is.
Yeah, sometimes you have to accept it's the nature of the beast and everything, but I guess it's just sort of finding the difference between what is an extreme situation and you're sort of still 2 hours from home and it's like 9 o'clock, or I'm on my way home and I'm driving past a Mackey's. I mean, the temptation is there. I mean, if you're hungry and you're on your way home and you're looking for something, there are little supermarkets, well, big supermarkets. We drive past enough of those when we're on the road. You can go in a supermarket. You can probably get yourself a packet salad. It's a supermarket. You can buy all the core ingredients just to bag them together. I've done that before where I've gone home and I've picked up some sort of spicy chicken from the sort of cold meat counter, and then just got like a little salad pack, and then I've just sort of munched on that. And I mean, the opportunities are there if you want to, and it's just sometimes the bad options are just thrown in front of you. They're literally on the side of the road as you're driving past, and it's easier to. And I think that's the challenge on this.
Yeah, that's the thing. There was, I mean, I'll be honest, mate. The idea of going to get some cold meat and salad, you know, it didn't really appeal to me. But there would have been, that aside, there would have been some better options in there than a McDonald's.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Maybe I think, you know, what I maybe should have done is taken the lesser of two evils. Look, I'm hungry. I'm going to eat.
Yeah.
That's just life, right? I could have starved myself till I got home, but realistically, that's not going to happen. And then, but I could have gone into Tesco's. I could have just been a bit more thoughtful about what I'm having. It doesn't have to be, you know, the best of the best food all the time. Does it?
No.
Just I suppose for me, it's just I should have made slightly better choices, and that's why I thought it was
just being a bit more mindful in those situations. And I know it's easier said than done, but I think that's the crux of the matter. But there's other sort of aspects in why we need to be a bit more mindful about these things. Let's be honest, if we're travelling, it's a lot of the time you are just sort of sat on your arse, be that sort of flying and you're in an airport and on a plane, or you're a trucker, or you're like a rep like me and you're driving around everywhere. It's a lot of time sat on your arse. So then to compound that with shitty food as well makes the challenge that much worse. And so that need to try and have something healthier, if you're not moving as much, is so much more important. And so with that, I guess in a life on the road, we do need to try and find ways to be that little bit more active. And I know we've spoken to a couple of sort of people in the fitness industry lately. So they've given some tips and advice to sort of or what to do. And I know when we spoke with Judith, we had to, she was saying like 5 minutes in every hour, just sort of stand up, neck back, pecs out, just sort of stretch yourself and have a bit of movement. And it's things like that. And even on the road, certainly if I'm driving my car, I can pull over and I can do that now and again when need be. And I don't know how many journeys I have that are more than an hour at a time. So the opportunity is there. So,
yeah, I think that's absolutely right. Yeah. And, we all want to get somewhere, don't we? I get that. And we all just, the thought of stopping sometimes is, but do you know what, mate? Like from a driving point of view, I feel so drained when I get home. Maybe a stop halfway through my 2-hour journey wouldn't be bad. Just a quick leg stretch, walk around the car park, whatever that may be.
It does take it out of your travelling, doesn't it? Whenever you travel, you do just always feel a bit tired when you come home.
But especially when you're eating shit as well, because if you just sat there, because you are just sat there and your concentration levels are high, obviously, hopefully anyway, because you're driving, and then you're eating shit food. You've had a busy day at work. Yeah, it's no wonder it takes out of you.
Yeah, right then. So they're the challenges that we're facing. So what are we going to do about it? How do we combat this, then, Darren?
I think, like we just said, mate, I think for me, that, there's better choices there.
Yeah.
So, personally, my lifestyle's not going to change, mate. That's my job. I go out, I work all over. I can't change that. I think for me, it's about next time I'm working away, going somewhere and making a better decision and just being happier that I've made a positive change.
What about sort of meal planning and preparation? Can you take something with you? Could you sort of pack a lunch up the night before, the morning of?
Yeah, I suppose that's the golden standard, isn't it? So, you're absolutely right, mate. I hadn't thought of that. So, basically, I could have cooked up, I could have made myself a nice chicken salad. I could have made myself, chicken salad even with a very small amount of pasta or some beans.
Yeah.
Absolutely right. And sometimes when you home cook those meals, they're so much fucking better.
They are, absolutely. I'll tell you what, though, one of my problems was, and I'm a bit embarrassed to say this, but this is the place to sort of share this. I'd often make a packed lunch and take it out with me, but I'd have it on my passenger seat next to me.
Whilst you're having your mackies?
Whilst I'm driving around, but then I'd get to like 10:30, and I thought, there's a load of goodies in there. And I'd start picking at my lunch, and it's 10:30.
Yeah.
And then by the time you get to like sort of 1 o'clock, 1:30, you think, I'm a bit hungry again. And then you go and buy another one, so you're almost having like 4 meals in a day. That's... And I doubt I'll be the only one who's done that. And so again, if you are taking out food, it's So put it in the boot. Don't put it in sort of like in arm's reach when you're driving. That you can just pick at it.
So we do a lot of like camping and stuff.
Yeah.
And I know that you don't really need it in your car, but one of the things that we take camping is a fridge that can plug into the car.
Yeah.
So what about that? So you could stick a little fridge in the boot of your car.
That's not a bad shout.
Plug it into the port if you've got one. Keeps your lunch nice and fresh, but also means you've got to take that, pull over, get out of the car. Gives you time to think about what you're doing. Is it lunchtime? Are you being a bit...
You know what? That's a cracking idea, especially in the summer months, right? I'm driving around and, like I said, you park your car and then the sun's beaming down. And you sometimes have gone in and like my drinks are warm.
Yeah.
My fucking salad or sandwich is ruined because it's too fucking hot. So something like that, just having the back of your car is a real smart move, actually.
Yeah.
So I might have to try something like that. And again, it's preparation, isn't it?
There you go, making progress. So, guys, if you're watching this or listening to this on the podcast, then let us know. Let us know what you do. You must have had these problems before, especially if you've got a life on the road. It was the same, when I was working in the police and stuff like that. You just never know when your lunch break is coming. I think that's true in a lot of jobs.
Yeah.
So what do you do? How do you keep on track? If you're watching this online, and drop it into the comments or let us know what you think. We'd be really interested to know. Yeah, absolutely. We'd love to hear it. And again, we've got different jobs. We'll have different experiences. We want to hear it. So, get in touch and let us know in the comments. Share your ideas around the community. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and check out our social media. And we'll see you in the next episode. Thanks, guys.